guys, so today I have an Etsy haul for you. Different items that I have bought from an Etsy store called Enclosed Earth. Now I did actually discover this store on Depop. As I've mentioned in a lot of my recent videos, I've been absolutely loving Depop, and I came across this amazing lady who creates these really unique pieces of work, and they are all so really well done and really well thought out, and I just really wanted to share them with you today. I am outside because it is super warm today, and I thought that it would be nice to actually film outside, so hopefully the surroundings aren't going to be too noisy. I have got like my wind proof microphone thing on my camera today, so hopefully it'll cut out a little bit of that. I did actually make 2 orders from this lady. The first order was just 3 items which she was selling in her shop, and then I got some kind of custom made pieces done. When it came to the custom pieces, I did a really rough sketch of what I wanted and just talked to her about a few little details. Sure enough, within like 3 or 4 days she had brought my imagination to life, and I'm really pleased with the outcome. So the rest of my order all came in this really nicely packaged bag, and all of the little pendants come in a really nice little box. It does come with a really nice string wrapped around, and the inside is completely unique to any sort of packaging I've ever seen before. So when you open it up, it has all of this sort of moss padding inside. It's really pretty. I've never seen something so natural being used to sort of make sure that something's padded and safe during the shipping process, and it completely works. None of my items came damaged or broken in any way. It does also have a really nice little smell to it as well, and it was completely surprising when I opened it up, and it's packaging that you'll definitely remember just because it's so different from anything else I've ever had. And then it's got the EE on the front for Enclosed Earth. So the first thing I'll show you is the first thing which I actually saw that this lady made, and it is this little shroom necklace. I'm a sucker for anything that's being sort of personified, and this is sort of like your really classic toadstool looking necklace, but it has this little grumpy face on it. And I did notice, I saw this on her Depop store. The thing I noticed first is that she posted a picture of 3 of them and wrote a little story about how they were grumpy because she'd picked them out of the garden. I was just like, I completely fell for this story, and when I saw this little guy being grumpy, I was like, oh, I need to give him a home. So the actual pendants are made out of a polymer clay, and then she's painted them with acrylic paints, and it's all been nicely sealed and everything. And the amount of detail that's within these is absolutely crazy. So as you can see, there's loads of like really fine detail being done underneath of the actual toadstool itself, and then a lot in the face. And then the actual thing which I really love is the white little dots on top of the toadstool are all really nicely textured, and it's just a really nice finish. It's that level of detail that makes these pieces so unique. And another thing that I really like is she does use crystals within them. So this toadstool, I believe, has tiger eyes, and you can see them really clearly, and they're really pretty, but it means all of them are completely unique. And with her custom made pieces, you can choose what sort of crystal you'd like her to use for the eyes. On the top it just has a little sort of silver ring. She still does have one of these little grumpy toadstools listed in her Depop store and also her Etsy store, and they are £20, which I feel is a really reasonable price for the fact that this is a custom made piece, and it's called a Grumpy Shroomer pendant, which is the official name for it. And I'm just totally in love with this piece. I am considering buying another one for my sister, because my sister is also completely obsessed with toadstools and mushrooms as well. My cup actually really sort of goes with the theme of the next one actually. It's like a little snail shell, although this one's got like a pumpkin snail shell, which also relates to another one of them. So the next one I got, I've had hundreds and hundreds of compliments on when I've worn this one, and it is a sort of snail shell, and then it has these 3 crystal points coming out of it. So there's 3 pieces of blue aura quartz coming out of the snail shell, and the main sort of clay part of the body is the shell, which again has been really finely detailed and painted, and it's just so pretty. When I wear this, I feel like I'm sort of like queen of the snails. It sort of also reminds me of like a seashell, so I feel like I could be like Ursula or something when I wear this. But it's such a pretty colour, and she motorbikes. I really love the little fine like sort of bits of gold flecks in this. Now, I'm not really normally a gold person, I normally go for silver, but it totally works. And honestly, this is just like nothing I've ever seen before. I mean, I've seen toadstool pendants before and things like that, but I've never seen something quite so unique. And she has just made a slightly smaller one. As you can see, this one is quite big, and she has just brought out a slightly smaller one in her stores as well. Again, it has the sort of big circular hoop at the top, and it comes with a chain, so you can sort of alter this chain, and like it literally comes out so easily. So if you do want to say put a silver chain on there, or like just even a different type, different color of chain or cord, it's super easy. Another thing I wanted to add is that it does say that that you should remove them before like washing or exercising or sleeping, and just don't like generally expose them to water. The only problem I've had with this is literally when it rained and I was wearing this, I was really conscious of the fact that I didn't want to get it wet. But other than that, they're it's super solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to break or anything. The actual quartz is really well secured in there, and that's the only thing I was slightly worried about when I got it, is I thought that the quartz may fall out, but actually it's completely like fully solid. There's no like wiggle or anything at all. So this also cost me £20, which is kind of like the normal sort of average price to pay for her pendants. And someone did mention on my last haul that they wanted to know sort of the prices in dollars, and this would cost around $29, $30. So I would say these are kind of like on the higher end of the spectrum of what I would like to pay for jewellery, but the fact that it's so pretty and so well done and handmade, it's definitely worth it. So the next one I'm going to show you is possibly one of my favourites, and this is actually like a semi-custom made piece. She makes lots of like similar mandrake pieces, but the custom made part of it is that you can choose the crystal that it's holding and its eyes. I wore this to London about a week ago, and it was really hot. I was out all day and doing things all day, and when I got home I noticed that unfortunately one of the little leaves had fallen out, and this is probably just because it was so hot and sweaty this day. And I did talk to the lovely lady who makes these, and she did say that, you know, she does super glue these in, but you know, it could have been because of the heat or anything along those lines. She has since checked all of her little mandrake pendants to make sure all the leaves are fully secured in, and my other ones, they're not going to budge at all, but she really kindly sent me some extra leaves just so that I can fix this. But I wanted just to show you what it looked like before, and then how easy it is just to like resolve the problem. So she gave me some of these little spare leaves, and as you can see from the top of the little mandrake, there's a little hole where the other one came out. So I'm just going to pick one of these leaves and see which one fits in the best. As you can see, literally the first one I put in there went in completely fine, and so this is what it looked like when I got it. I am going to glue this leaf in, although it is pretty like well secured already, but I am going to put some super strong super glue on it. And as you can see, I love the way it looks with the 3 leaves, because it kind of looks like he's got like a little bit of like a fringe going on. So this is the mandrake. I'm going to try and hold it from the back because there's so much detail at the bottom of the mandrake. My mandrake has tiger eye eyes, the same as the mushroom one I just showed you, and it's also holding a piece of amethyst. Anyone who knows me or has watched any of my recent crystal videos knows that I'm absolutely obsessed with amethyst, and I completely and utterly love this piece. Now, the original sort of amethysty one I saw, it was holding sort of more like a tumblestone of amethyst, but this piece is more like a raw piece, and I'm totally in love with raw pieces of amethyst, so I'm so pleased with this. And its legs kind of twirl together in this really pretty sort of root fashion, and then she's really nicely hand painted it, so it's like slowly sort of transitioning into a lighter colour. This little guy is so detailed, and I love him so much, and I wore this while I was working at school, and all the children completely loved it, and they really wanted to know sort of the history and things behind it, so I really loved it. and again it was just sort of its little personality which I fell for. So this guy cost me, I think it was £22, so he's a little bit more expensive than the other one, but he was custom made and I did choose what kind of eyes I wanted and again what he was holding. She still has a couple of these mandrakes in her Etsy and Depop store, and I'm sure that she'd be really happy to make you a custom one if you would be interested in getting a different type of crystal or different colour eyes or anything along those lines. So those were the first 3 pendants that I bought, and literally pretty much as soon as I got this, she put up another sort of one in the same style, which I completely loved. Now personally I don't actually like the taste of radish, but I love the way this little guy looked. As you can see, they look a little bit like twins, although the radish is a tiny bit smaller, so I'm just going to show you the radish up close. Here is the little radish, and again it's sort of like ombrade and faded down at the bottom into white, and she's put some little bits of string in there to look like, I think it's like the roots of the radish, and it's got little arms and it's got a really cute little face. And this guy has little black onyx eyes, which are so pretty, and I feel like it goes really well with the red. I did come across this problem when I was customizing a few of my other bits. I thought of a type of crystal gemstone to go in for the eyes, and the actual colour of the crystal wouldn't have worked with my design, but I feel like this black works amazingly with the red of the radish. I'm going to show you the back because it's a little bit easier to see on camera, but it starts with this really sort of strong red, and then a lot of care has been put in to slowly fading it down into the white, and it gives it this really sort of realistic look. Just love the little personality of this guy. This one's a little bit cheaper than the other ones. This one was only £15, which is around $20-ish. So the next pendant which I'm going to show you is kind of also going with the theme of my cup. And these were ones which I actually designed myself, and they are of course pumpkin themed. So I did actually buy 2 of these pumpkin ones, and I will show you why, because they are slightly different. Now this is the first one which I bought, and this one was her kind of like prototype, so this was her sort of first experiment of making this little guy. So this was the original grumpkin that got made. So here is the first grumpkin, and as you can see he also has tiger eye eyes. Now I really love this like green swirl at the top. That was one of my favourite things about this sort of prototype, and she made it with tiger eyes, but originally I wanted it with a sort of red or orange gemstone or crystal for its eyes. So she made this kind of just to see about the shape, and I personally felt like its mouth was slightly too close to its eyes, and I wanted it to have the red eyes to sort of symbolise a flame. Honestly and kindly, Jodie, the lady who makes these items, she recommended that I didn't use that colour stone just because it wouldn't show up against the actual orange tones of the grumpkin. So I thought that maybe it would look just as good with onyx, and actually I really love the way this looked, and I think I probably would have preferred it than if I had actually got the red. And my kitten is climbing up my back. You're so naughty. So they are a really sort of nice rounded pumpkin shape, and then as you can see she has altered like the position of the mouth compared to the original one for me. And again, the like effort and detail that's gone into like the painting of this is amazing, and everything is really nicely sort of shaded and made to look really realistic. The back of the pendant is completely flat, so it means that it lays really nicely against your chest, and it just makes it a really comfortable pendant to wear. And again, this little guy has so much fine detail that I didn't even notice when I did see the original pictures. On his little sort of stalk, I guess you'd call it, there are loads of little fine lines, details, and then this green swirl wraps around it and sort of curls up at the front. Out of all of the necklaces that I bought, the grumpkin with the onyx eyes is definitely my complete favourite. I've only been able to wear it once because I haven't had them for that long yet, but I'm pretty sure this is going to become one of my favourite necklaces. and I have so many bat necklaces. Like, bats are my favorite kind of necklace, and I haven't got very many pumpkin necklaces. This very easily became my very favorite pumpkin necklace. I'm so pleased with this piece, and it came out exactly how I like imagined it in my head. It's almost like she crawled into my brain and saw what I was thinking, and her ability to take someone's ideas and then put her own like magical twist on it and give them a personality is like second to none. So talking of bat necklaces, because where would I be without a haul that featured some kind of bat item, I did also buy a bat necklace, and I literally bought this the day before she started shipping out my items. It was like a little experiment that she did, and I saw it and I just couldn't resist. And this one was slightly more expensive than the other ones which I bought, but it is completely different. I think it still has the same sort of style to it. It is completely like unique, and again, as I said, I probably own about 50 different bat necklaces and none of them are like this, so I was really excited when I saw it. This is the little guy. As you can see, he's not so little. He's pretty much the whole size of my palm, and this guy has fully movable joints and wings and head, and I am completely in love with him. This little guy has, I can never say this word, carnelian eyes. So he has little red gemstones for eyes, and then so much effort has gone into giving his body all of this really fine detail. So he's got this really cute, like almost lifelike face to him. I completely love the shape of his ears. She knew what my favorite type of bat face is, and he has such a cute little face, and as you can see, hopefully it's showing up all of this really fine detail that's gone in to almost look like he's furry. And then his head is like jointed to his body, and then it looks like he's headless, and then he's got these tiny little wings, and his wings sort of hang down by his side while you're wearing it, but as you move they kind of flutter around a little bit. And his wings are like primarily black, and then they've got loads of like little lines sculpted into them, and then they've got these white main feature lines on them as well, and he's got these tiny little cute feet. So this is probably one of the most expensive necklaces I've ever bought. This cost me £30, but compared like to the other ones, you can see that he is quite a lot bigger. Like his head is the size of the grumpkin, so it's completely understandable why he costs that much more. Hello. The wings and the head have been secured really nicely, so I'm not worried about them falling apart at all. Of course, you have to be like slightly more gentle with this kind of material rather than if you're wearing like a metal necklace. I never really knock my necklaces round much anyway, so I don't think it will ever be an issue. And I just love the little personality of this guy. His eyes just look so cute, and he kind of looks like he's done something wrong, if you know what I mean. He looks a tiny bit guilty, but at the same time, like, you'd completely forgive him for whatever he's done. So the second pendant that I asked her to make was a kind of like, I was thinking of sort of like a forest spirit ghost kind of thing. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but in my head I had like envisioned what I wanted it to look like, and I wanted it to have sort of like a ghost kind of shape and a twisty tail, and then have sort of like flecks of like blue and purple in its tail. And I drew her a little picture which I'm going to show you, so you can kind of gather what I was thinking in my brain when I made this custom order. So he's not showing up fantastically because of the sun, but this is kind of what I was thinking, and with onyx eyes, and then sort of like this twirly sort of shape. It doesn't have like much, like it doesn't have any limbs or anything, and then like with the little flecks of colour going through its body. Oh, and that was the pumpkin that I originally drew as well for the grumpkin. What she ended up creating for me was pretty much smack bang on point for what I was thinking. So these, well, there's two of them because of course I couldn't just buy one of them because I couldn't decide which one I liked more. So this one here is like a slightly sort of cuter little one, which is probably more what I was aiming for in the first place. But then this guy has a little bit more sort of like a creepy, I guess more like a ghost kind of look to it. But I really liked both of them, even though this one was probably more what I was aiming for. I'll start with the slightly more grumpy looking one. So he has an absolutely amazing tail. I love his tail so much. And then he has these kind of like bags under his eyes to give him this more sort of like haunting look. And as you can see at the top, he's white and he's slowly fading down through light blue, dark blue, and then to purple on the base of his tail. And he's got these really fine little dots throughout the design and also on the back as well. Again, he's slightly flatter on the back, which means that he sits really, really nicely against your chest, and he has the onyx eyes, which I was looking for. And then this is the other little guy who is exactly what I was imagining. Again, he has this really super curly tail and he fades down in colour. As I said, they are pretty much exactly the same, other than their sort of like facial expressions. This one's really sort of happy, this one's a little bit more grumpy. I don't think that she's actually selling any more of these little guys on her shop, but I'm pretty sure if you're interested in getting like a little sort of ghosty, I'm gonna call him like a river spirit actually. Originally I called him a forest spirit, but I think he's gonna be like a river spirit now, that like, I think that they're more like river spirits because of their colours. I'm sure if you did want one, she would be happy to custom make you one. She has made another grumpkin, I've noticed, and it is up for sale on her Etsy and Depop shop. So if you are interested in getting a grumpkin, then you can find those quite easily in her store. And again, if they are sold out, she's such a lovely, lovely lady, and I'm pretty sure she'd make you another one if you're interested in one, and also if you've got any crazy ideas of your own that you want to bring to life. So the last thing that I got from her, I say last thing, it's the last thing I've currently bought from her, but I'm pretty sure I'll be buying more in the future. And this one is in slightly a different style. As you can see straight away, it's on this sort of silver ball cord, and it's like a circular pendant, so it doesn't have that straight away sort of like homemade look to it, but as soon as you look at what's in this pendant, you're gonna completely understand why I bought it. And I feel like I may be getting sunburn. So it is a little locket, and inside you've got your own little enchanted garden. So there's lots of various gemstones at the bottom, then there's a layer of the same kind of like mossy stuff that I believe it's the same stuff that the packaging sort of comes in, and then it has these two little toadstools. From the looks of it, these toadstools have been made out of the same sort of polymer clay as the other necklaces have, and they've kind of been put into the locket. It does say not to open this locket because you could actually ruin the garden that's in there, and I don't think I ever would open it because there's nothing I'd ever want to change about it, because it's just so pretty. I haven't actually worn this one yet because I have so many other ones to wear, but I feel like this is a really kind of like slightly more subtle piece than the other ones, and it would totally be suitable for work or anything else along those lines. I was slightly worried that if I held this upside down, it would mess it all up, but as you can see, I'm holding it upside down and nothing is budging at all, so it must all be like quite nicely sort of glued and positioned into place. She is selling another one of these with 3 little toadstools in, so you can still grab one of these if you're interested in them, and this one cost me £20 as well, and I got it because it is completely different to all the other pieces I've bought from her, but it still does have that sort of magical feel to it and the same sort of handmade look within it. And this necklace is a slightly longer necklace than all the other ones. It's longer than the longest necklace that I wear, which is perfect because it means that I can sort of wear this with loads of my other necklaces. One thing which kind of puts me off with some necklaces is that they are the same length as some of my main ones, which I wear like every single day, and it may like cover up one of my main ones, but this one is completely perfect and I'm sure I'm gonna get loads of wear out of it. So those are all of the pendants which I bought from Enclosed Earth, and as I said, like really she does so many different pieces and they all have like different crystals, different gemstones in, and hello, and they are all so pretty. And just definitely check out her shop, because even if you aren't personally interested in like pumpkins and bats and spirits and toadstools and all that kind of thing. She does so many other types of necklaces. Some that aren't actually like creatures or anything, they're just like really pretty scenes and really pretty intricate little pendants. Just definitely check her out. She does, as I said, she has an Etsy store called The Enclosed Earth. She's called The Enclosed Earth on Depop as well, and also her Instagram is exactly the same as well. I really love her Instagram because it gives you a little bit of a sneak preview about what she's doing. She shows you like pieces that she's kind of like halfway through, so you kind of get to see like the whole process of her making the items. You see like her after they've been sculpted and then after they've just been painted. It's really nice to see the whole sort of like production feeling of it and see how it's all really intricately handmade, which is something that you don't normally get with other sort of types of necklaces. I was just searching for toadstools and I kept seeing this grumpy little shroomy popping up, and every time I saw him I just wanted to like adopt him. So yeah, it kind of it's become a slight obsession of mine, but she just does such amazing pieces and it's really hard to resist not buying them. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. As I said, if you've got any crazy imaginative ideas up in your head that you want creating and making your own, then definitely send her an email. I'm sure nothing is too crazy and out there for her to make because she is just so talented of a lady. I will link below everything that you need, all of her social media and her Facebook, and also links to her Etsy and what to search for on Depop if you'd like to find her. I hope that you're having a lovely day. If it is this sunny where you are, I hope that you're enjoying the shade, and I will see you next time. Bye!